Hi guys, my name is Chris and you're watching Wrestling Today. So let's start with the Scottish Warrior was on a hiatus following his Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania 39. Drew McIntyre's status was also up in the air regarding his deal with the company at the time. Reports had also suggested that he wasn't happy with his creative direction in WWE and was considering his options. After his return, Drew McIntyre challenged Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam but failed to win the title. He would then begin a feud with Xavier Woods and now Seth Rollins. While speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer talked about Drew McIntyre's contractual status with WWE. Meltzer noted that McIntyre still hasn't re-signed with WWE. This is despite the fact that he is set for a huge title match next month. I could check. But I do not believe he's re-signed. Alvey said, "That's a pretty big match for a guy who has not re-signed." Oh, they were gonna push him. You know, he's solid through April. I mean, there's time you can do whatever you want with him through April. So the deal is that his contract was to expire, like at the end of the year, but because of all the injury time accrued it's April. So I mean, they're not at a point where I would say it's, you know, it's dangerous or we are at a turning point or don't put the title on him, which, you know, they've done it before. They've had champions, Bret Hart, Jeff Jarrett, you know, where guys' contracts were up. But the point is, he's got plenty of time. It's not like, you know, you can't have him win because he's gonna be gone in a month and he hasn't re-signed his deal. And, you know, it's just, again, I mean, it's basically a numbers game. I mean, it's not like he's a guy who's looking to leave, it's just a numbers game. I mean, he wants a certain number and they did not offer that certain number and they may meet in the middle or they may not meet in the middle and he may go home. I don't know where he may go, you know, of course he could go to AEW, anything's possible. Reports previously suggested that McIntyre is expected to re-sign with WWE. Drew McIntyre is set to challenge Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WWE Crown Jewel next month. Only time will tell whether the Scottish Warrior will be able to defeat Rollins for the title. What do you think of this Drew McIntyre story? Do you think WWE will make him a champion again? The next story is about the pro wrestling world is full of changes, and that is very true when contracts start running up. Will Ospreay caused a huge stir when he announced in August on AEW television that his contract is up in 6 months. There is a lot of interest in the aerial assassin. It was previously reported that Will Ospreay has retained Barry Bloom. Both WWE and AEW were informed in August that Ospreay hired that well-known agent. It was later reported that WWE has interest in Will Ospreay's services. Ringside News reached out to confirm WWE's interest in Will Ospreay, and whether they think he will come into the company. A tenured source within the company confirmed WWE interest, and another remarked, "Ask me again in a couple of weeks." It appears that WWE is well aware that Will Ospreay is going to be a free agent in February, and 2023 is ticking down in rapid fashion. He is making appearances for AEW and Impact Wrestling, while garnering rave reviews in the process. Only time will tell where Will Ospreay ends up next, because there is definite interest in him, and some big money could be coming his way. He certainly amped things up by hiring heavy hitter agent Barry Bloom, who has been responsible for landing some major pro wrestling deals in the past. It seems that WWE may have their eye on Will Ospreay, and if they can land him, the timeframe seems very possible for a major WrestleMania encounter. What's your take on Will Ospreay ending up in WWE? The final story is about the Crown Jewel card features top matches like the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns vs LA Knight and WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins vs Drew McIntyre. As previously mentioned, Survivor Series will reintroduce the War Games theme, although there's also been talk about WWE revisiting the Raw vs SmackDown theme. A lot of fans have theories about that Survivor Series event. Dave Meltzer mentioned on Wrestling Observer Radio during his recap of Monday's Raw that there are currently no plans for a champion versus champion match between Rollins and Reigns at Survivor Series, despite some speculation arising from events on Monday night. Brian Alvarez remarked that, "It seemed like they were maybe building up to a Roman Reigns-Seth Rollins match down the road." Dave Meltzer then replied to say that, "I didn't sense that." Brian Alvarez followed that by stating that the plans are, not imminently. But they did that in Survivor Series for years and years and years. This is when Dave Meltzer revealed that, they're not going to do that. I can tell you for sure. That's not on this year's Survivor Series. It appears that WWE is not going for a champion versus champion match at Survivor Series. Vince McMahon has booked champion versus champion for Survivor Series in the past, as brands battle for supremacy. This year, Triple H is not going that direction. As we previously reported, the War Games match will not be brand versus brand match either. We will have continued coverage of WWE Survivor Series, and everything leading up to the big event. Right here Triple H is taking the company in his own vision, and it appears that Vince McMahon is no longer a factor in those decisions. What's your take on WWE's plan for Survivor Series? How would you book Roman Reigns for the company's final premium live event of 2023? Thanks guys for watching, and please subscribe for fast wrestling news and updates.